Okay, as you can see, it's already starting. First of the year. It's going to be a wonderful, wonderful year this year. I am so excited for 2024. So, as we get started, let me do a reminder for you. In fact, I'll share my screen and show you how to do it in Bridge real fast. There's Photoshop. And let's get to Bridge. I got to get that out of the way because Zoom likes to be in the picture all the time, covering your screen. Then I'll go to Bridge and we'll go to Tools, Edit. Well, you can do Create Metadata Template if you don't have it already made, but if you already have it made, Edit Metadata Template, go to Collins, which is mine, and where did it go? There it is. Down at the bottom of that, you have copyright notice. Need to change your copyright notice from 2023 to 2024.
Whoa.
Tis the season. Just a reminder for you. And you hit save and it'll say, you've already got this. Well, thank you very much. I'll replace it anyway. And now it's set.
Could you run that again?
I will be happy to do that again. I will go to Tools, Edit Metadata Template if you already have it made. If not, we'll do a show on how to create metadata template. Go to mine's Collins, and then down at the very bottom is copyright notice. And all you have to do is go in here and change it from 23 to 24, and you're all up to date. Click Save, Replace, and it's done. Just that easy. Any questions on that? I don't know how to do it in Lightroom, but there's plenty of YouTube videos on how to do it because I don't use Lightroom. So, okay. Nice. First and foremost, June 19th through the 19th. Hello, June 9 through the 14th, 2024. We have West Coast School. And if you want to spend a week with me and put up with me or harass me or whatever you want to do, this is the perfect place to do it. Photoshop 0 to 60 in a week. And we may go above the speed limit, maybe do 75 or 80 because you can't do that in California, but you can in Idaho. You can do 80 miles an hour on the freeways. So we're going to crank it up a little bit. We're going to have some fun, learn a little bit about Photoshop, the tools, AI. It's amazing the stuff that's going on right now. I'm totally blown away. And then tomorrow night is sign up night for Texas school. So at 11 o'clock Texas time, which would be 10 o'clock my time, 9 o'clock California time, you can sign up for Texas school and join me in my Photoshop class, 0 to 60 in a week. And again, same thing, we're going to have fun, whether you like it or not. So I'm going to close that. And we're going to get down to business on some of the stuff to cover today. Let's go to January 2024. And where do I want to start? Let's start with this guy. This is my great-grandson, Jackson. And you can see he's got a worm in his hand. Well, the worm ain't much good without a fish. So we're going to add a fish to it. So I'm going to take my lasso tool and I'm going to make a big old fish right here. And where is contextual taskbar? Disappeared. And I don't know why it did, but it did. So if you ever have that happen to you, go to Window, down to the very bottom, it says contextual taskbar. Just click on that and boom, there it is. So we're going to make us a fish. And I'm just going to type in the word fish and hit generate. And I'm going to wait. And you notice there's little clues up here, little things to remind you about generating stuff. Take a look at those as they come through. There's probably 15 or 20 of them. Well, that's not a bad size fish. Not bad. I think I like this one better. Let's try this. Let's change it from fish to big fish. Last time I did this, I got a teeny tiny fish when I said big fish. And if you want to change colors or change anything to it, there you go. Now we're talking. I like that one. That one's going to work. And yeah, you can tell a little bit that it is not real if you look closely at it, but that's okay. I'm going to save this to my desktop. And let's call it fish. I'm going to send that to him so he'll have a picture of him holding his fish by a worm. So that's how easy generative fill is. You just add on stuff, whatever you want to do. If you want to change whatever it is, you just go in, redo the selection again, and then type in the verbs that you want and see what happens. This one I was playing around the other day just for fun to see how it would work. Take my lasso tool, kind of add right about here. Generative fill, knights on horseback with swords. And you never know what's going to come up when you do it, but you do it and have fun with it. I'll move properties out of the way so you can see it. And in about 5 seconds, you'll have knights riding around on horseback. That one's not very good. That one's too fake. That one's kind of cool because it kind of matches the lighting and everything. However, if you look at the knight in the back, his horse kind of disappeared. Which sometimes that happens. And you can always say, well, let's try and run it again. Click on generate again. When you don't want to generate something, commands like remove, no, or without can help. So that's what the key thing is there. And this is the second set. And you can go through and say, nope, nope, no. I think that's the closest I'm going to get. But you get what you get sometimes. And if you keep playing, you keep trying to get something good and go from there. If you don't like it, tell it goodbye and have a nice day.
So how do you fix it? Because the horses almost come to the second story with the rider. So those are some big horses. How do you adjust the sizes on them?
Well, they had very big horses back in those days. They didn't have to give them a whole bunch of steroids and stuff to make them work. So what you could do, sorry, I'm out there.
So is that under the steroid filter? Where's that on there?
That's in the beta version.
That's under sports.
Oh,
that's under baseball because they don't use steroids in football.
Yeah.
Those guys are just naturally that big and fast.
Absolutely, yeah.
So anyway, enough of the politics. Let's get into how to make it a little bit smaller. We'll hit Command or Control T on that layer. And I'm going to hold the Option or Alt key. And what it's going to do is that center spot right there, it's going to bring everything towards that spot when I hold the Option or Alt key. And you can see that it's taking the building with it. I didn't know that it put the building in there.
Oh,
So
that's weird.
Yeah. So all I do is go on the masking tool and we'll zoom in really good. And let's do a select subject. So I'm going to hit W for select subject, hit the lasso tool, go around my rider and horse, which is not exactly perfect.
That's pretty good.
And that's what's selected. So I will hit Command I. Whoops. Helps if you're on there. Oh, interesting. Let's try this. Hit the brush
Sorry
tool.
to bring up such a pain in the butt.
No, I haven't done this before. So let's see, paint with black. And it's not. Okay. Interesting. Select inverse.
You had a selection made, keeping it on the riders, not the building.
Right. So you just paint out what you want to get rid of. So we'll just get rid of all the guys that don't look real. And what do you know? There's a car there. Now that's not from this layer. This is from the previous layer. So let's go back to brush, exchange colors. I guess I got to leave this guy in here.
Or you could do a separate generative fill to
I
get
could
rid of the
also
car.
do, I could also remove the car. In fact, let's do that. Command Z, and we'll let me make sure I'm painted everything in. We're good there. So we hit deselect. We will take the lasso tool. You know what? I'm
Looks
going to
like
change
he
it.
has eight legs.
It looks like he's got, that's one of the things about generative fill and AI. It doesn't always come out perfect.
It's part of the steroid program.
Exactly. I'm going to hit J for my remove tool. Draw a circle around there. It fills in the middle automatically. So I don't have to do anything else and just hit return and wait and wait and wait and wait and wait. Boom.
Sometimes I think the remove tool does a better job than generative fill, but I wish there were 3 choices on it.
Yeah. But I mean, you look what it did there, and it did not a
Yeah,
bad
that's
job.
great.
So yeah, we need to fix too many legs and tails, and so I'll go back to my
He's a stallion.
mask. Dennis,
Nothing to see. Move along.
now there's nothing to see for sure. Okay, we're down to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 legs. We're down to 5 legs. Now we have 4, sort of. I don't know what, if that's tail or leg or what that is, but. And if I wanted to, I could go up here, hit the Command or Control key, click on there, and it brings up that layer. And what I can do is go to, let's go to curves. And we'll just kind of bump up the darkness in that area. Come on, do something. And what I'll do is take that. I want to apply the layer mask. Let's go down here. We'll apply the layer mask. I'll right click and it won't let me apply mask. Drag it to the trash. Nope. Interesting. Okay, let's try doing. Yeah, something's going on with it right now. I'm still learning how to play, so. B for brush. Bring it back up big again. Paint that away, paint that away. Paint his head, headless horseman. There you go. Paint his head off too. So what you can do is just do a free transformation of that layer, and it should, if everything goes right, make it smaller. You may have to apply the layer mask before you do it so that it gets small with what you want to keep. One of the things I learned while playing with this is a wedding that I helped photograph. The theme was Disney at the wedding. Oh, interesting. Okay. And that's my crazy son, who was the groom, who picked the Disney theme with his wife. Hi. So let's go to the select subject tool, and we'll select these guys out, see what happens. And all I did was lasso around them, and the selection is not too bad. There's a little spot like right in here we got to get rid of. So I will hold lasso tool. Let's try the option key, see if that's what I want. And if it's not the key you want, there you go. And I'm holding the shift key down while I'm selecting the other areas that I want to keep. So I've got them selected. I need to, I'm not even going to do that because it's just to show you what happens. I'm going to go to Generative Fill down at the bottom, and I'm going to type in Star Wars background. Background.
You should make your son a Wookiee.
I ain't going to go there. And it's going to say, I don't know why it's taking so long to say this, but it's going through and come on.
Is it going to tell you that Star Wars is copyrighted and you can't use it?
Good one.
We've encountered a problem with your prompt. Let me do an inverse on this. So we'll do a Command Shift I, cancel, Command Shift I, which they're no longer selected, just the background is. Down here, we'll go back to Star Wars again. And don't make a liar out of me. You got to do it right now. We encountered an issue with your prompt. Please check or review our guidelines. Basically, you can't use Star Wars, Disney, anything copyrighted, it won't allow. But it adds more people in there for some reason. Move this out of the way. Let me try it one more time, see what it does this time. But it made a better background for them versus what they had to start with. I just got to take the weird things out.
Philip Nowen.
And there's the problem again. And you can look at the guidelines if you want to look and see what they say and why they say it. But yeah, it keeps adding people in there.
Hey, Mike.
Yes.
What if you were to say like a lunar or moon space background? Do you think that'll be more generic?
Lunar space background, no people.
Doesn't always listen to the no people option.
It doesn't listen to anything unless it wants to.
I was trying to remove one person from a photograph of two, and it kept replacing them with a different person. But
And
the
if you don't
remove
want,
tool did much better.
yeah,
That one.
if you don't want to keep your property windows open, taking up half the picture, you can go down to the bottom on your contextual taskbar, and you see the numbers 1 to 9. Well, we got 9 things to look at. 6 that we already did. So that's not bad. Just need to add shadows under their feet to make them look like they're standing on the moon. and everybody's happy. And you can tweak it more. So it did take that. It won't allow you to do copyrighted Disney, Looney Tunes, things like that. They're already Looney Tunes, so don't have to add much more. But I wanted to show you that picture just for that reason, to tell you that if you try that with generative fill, it's going to say, no, we ain't playing. Also, it doesn't want you to do naked ladies, naked guys. Everything has to be by the numbers. So I've got two pictures here. And if you look close, the guys are the same. The ladies change places. The original picture is the one on the left. The completed picture is the one on the right. So what we'll do, we'll open this one up and let you think about how you would go about changing the lady positions. And this was an actual client request that I had. She came to me with this picture and said, number one, would you scan it for me? Number two, is it possible to make the lady on the right go with her husband on the left and the lady on the left go with her husband on the right? Is it possible?
Okay.
Yes, it is. It took me 2 hours of thinking how to do it the first time I did it, which was 2 years ago, before AI, before all the selection tools were really working. And then it took me 30 minutes to do it. So now I look at it and go, let's take a look, see how long it's going to take me this time. So I'm going to take my lasso tool, or not my lasso tool, I'm going to take my selection tool, and I'm going to select her. And we have, looks like a pretty good selection. So I'll put her on her own layer, Command J. Now she's on her own layer. I'm going to take the lady on the left and do the same thing. Get a good selection. I don't have to use the stinking pin tool, but I do have to get a better selection of her arm there. So I held the shift key while I did that. Shift, shift, and that needs help. So we'd hit the lasso tool, shift, there we go. And she looks like she's pretty well selected, so we'll hit Command J. So now both ladies are on their own layers. So it's going to be a breeze from here, right? So I'll take the lady on the left, or I'm sorry, the one on the our right, her left, hit the move tool, which is V for move, drag her over here. It's just fairly close. I'm going to take the lady on the left, our left, her right, put her over here. Now we're almost there. Except for they don't fit perfectly with each other. So what we'll do is do the same thing again. And what I'll do, to save me some time, I'll hit W for my selection, select her again. And I'll hit Generative Fill. And the funny thing that pops up, well, it depends. See what happens this time. When I was doing it, it put a couple of kids in their position. There you go. Looks like they're being molested by these guys or something. They're really bad. I mean, they're just,
That's so weird.
that is ugly, but that's okay. I changed my mind. I don't like any of that. So we'll hit Command Z, Control Z. Let's try deselect. And we'll go to the magic remove tool. And I'm going to add a little bit more out here. A little bit more here. If I was working with my Wacom tablet, it would be a lot easier if I'm using my mouse. Hit return, and she's going to disappear. Like Kimberly was saying, sometimes the remove tool works much better than generative fill. And in this case, got my fingers crossed. We'll see what happens. When you're doing it live, you never know what you're going to get. You get what you get. I probably could have done both of them at the same time to save time. Come on, you can do it. You can do it. The remove tool is a little slower than generative AI, but a lot of times you get a little bit better result depending on what you want to do. Okay, that worked okay. And we'll go around her head. And then I'll hit the remove tool, click OK, and we'll wait another hour or so for it to pop up.
It also takes twice as long if you're live.
Oh, Adobe and Zoom, they need to get together and figure out a way to make it work a whole bunch better.
Yeah.
I guess maybe because it sucks up so much bandwidth in your computer that it's just taking a sweet time.
Well, it's also because you're being watched. So,
Well,
yeah.
no pressure there.
No.
Exactly.
Mike, couldn't you just go generate fill on both of them and type in swap?
I don't think that would work.
Okay.
However, taking a look at it now, it's not too bad. Maybe down here we could do a little fill right there with the remove tool. That should take a second. And I don't see a whole lot of problem with it. So let's do this. We're going to take our crop tool and I hit clear up here, which clears out any cropping up there. And I crop to right at the white lines. Click OK. And I should have gone a little bit inward, but that's okay. And let's go ahead and do a Shift Command E, which brings it up on its own layer. And then we'll go to image size. I'm sorry, wrong way. Image canvas size. I'm going to add 1 inch all the way around, which is a 1/2 inch on both sides. And I'm going to use white. And the 4-digit code for white down here, so you'd have to drag up and get exactly white, is FFF. It's actually FFF, FFF, pure white. Click OK. And now I have this wonderful old-time image.
Oh, the only difference I see is on the looking at the monitor, camera right, the lady's hair is really highlighted from the flash, as the guy camera left on it has the highlights, where the girl the camera left, I mean, she doesn't have any, hard lighting on her face.
Right.
If
Well,
you
this-
had put the man on the left instead, that's on the right, then they would have been looking towards the center, and that problem with the highlights would have also been solved.
That might have been able to do that. And we can also, on the highlights on this
Good
one,
point.
take our
Because they're all
brush.
leaning out in a weird.
But
The key
still,
thing
that's
is
pretty
this is a
amazing.
The key thing, this is a bunch of photographers scrutinizing the work here. You send this
Oh,
to a
yeah, no,
client
it's great.
and they're going to go, yeehaw.
Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah, that's where I was going. It looks pretty darn good. I mean, it really does.
Let's take our opacity down to 10%. I'm going to go white with screen.
Oh, it's amazing.
Add a little bit of highlight, which not going well. So I'm not one to do highlights. The person I would send out to do that to would be Sherry Hammond. She'd do the highlights for me and make it look perfect. But considering that took me 2.5 hours the first time, how long did it take me this time?
Yeah.
5 minutes
Yeah.
under pressure.
Yeah. Dennis is right, though. The customer would go out and just go like, wow, thank you.
Yeah, because if you look at this guy who was there to begin with, he's got a highlight on his face, highlight on the hair that matches. He's got a highlight there. You know, I can add a little highlight here.
You could clone the
I'd
other
bring it
woman's
in
hair.
bring it into Camera Raw and select just her, and then
Yeah,
mask with a subject and intersect with a linear gradient, and then bring up the exposure. So there you go.
So do you tell all your clients all this stuff and tell them we're using stuff, or just going to say, we're going to just this make you guys all happy? I
Yeah.
mean,
That's it,
there's
exactly.
that point.
This is not the conversation with the client, of course.
Yeah, and you gotta remember that guy on the camera left. He's gobble on the light on the lady in front of him, so his shoulders catching all the light. So you can explain it that way too.
Yeah. No, Michael, this looks great.
You know, all things considered, I don't know of anybody that would complain after you spent 6 hours making them changed, right? Well, that should make them happy. You spent 6 hours doing this. That's not
Are you billing per piece or per hour?
depends on what they're going to pay. Well, they're going to pay me probably per piece, and I'm going to bill them appropriately because it's not. This is not an easy task, especially the first time I did it. And a lot of times, the first thing you do is for about the first hour trying to figure out how you're going to do it. Once you figure out how you're going to do it, doing it's easy. But it does take some experience and know-how. And now you guys have seen how it's done so easily. And you won't share my secrets.
But you'll teach it in a class.
I'll teach that in the class. Oh, yeah. So if you're at West Coast School or if you're at Texas School, you'll learn how to do this.
Well, what I was trying to say is I think sometimes we are our own worst enemies because we're telling people all this fancy words and this lingo and terminology, and they don't need to know. All they will know is, can you do it?
Yep.
And I think that we're our own worst enemies, and I think we're trying to impress our clients by saying we can do all this stuff. Because, heck, I've done. I'm sure everybody's done it. So I think the thing is just take the job, shut up, and do it.
There you go, and charge appropriately.
Yes.
I think that's a class in itself, is how to charge appropriately and how to communicate with your clients.
There are classes out there for charging appropriately to include your insurance, your equipment, your education, all that good stuff, which people
I can do that if you
forget
ever
about
want a
that.
class. You
There
ever
you
want
go.
a class, I'm game.
Yeah, there's a lot. I think a lot of photographers have, like Dennis said, that the communications is the biggest challenge. Just we can design our what we call it, funds and everything, or what we have to do, but a lot of photographers, as all of us know, they don't know how to communicate with the client, show them the understanding about what you can do without revealing everything that we can do.
Yeah. Now, a year and a half ago, somebody said, well, can you put leaves on these plants? Sure, that's a breeze. I've got my brush tool, and in my brush tool, B for brush, we'll go down and we'll find leaf.
Yeah, wait until spring.
Yeah, there you go. Let's do this one. And yeah, you can start painting. Oh, I gotta change everything over now. Back to normal 100%. And the leaves are super huge there. I don't want to do that. I'm going. Back then, I designed a brush just for this with autumn colors and all kinds of stuff. Well, let's do this. L for lasso. And I'm going to do a little bit of a zigzag around here. Generative fill. What color leaf do you want?
Red.
Red. Anthony.
Oh, I like fall colors.
Okay, fall colors. See what it says.
Yeah.
Fall colors, leaves. Do you want small leaves or big leaves?
Small.
So I'll go in there, small leaves.
Notice you got punctuation on part and some others not. Do you need punctuation?
No, it doesn't matter. I accidentally typed in a comma in there because I was going to do red, blue, green, whatever.
Just asking.
Yeah. Pull this out of the way so you can see it. That's mostly red. Well, let's take out red and just go with fall colors.
It heard me.
Yeah. Well, I typed in red to start with, so it liked your
Ah.
red. Add a little bit of fall color in there.
Oh, that's nice. Yeah.
I think that one looks more realistic.
Yeah. 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 That's perfect.
And if we take our
Hmm.
and we'll add a trunk. Let's see what kind of trunk it puts in there. If it's a tree trunk or if it's a suitcase trunk.
Yeah, because the bottom of that brush or whatever you want to call it represents the bottom of the ground because it's, darker and, there's no sunlight come to it. So it has a,
Yeah. So it
good,
gave us a small skinny trunk. Gave us something. And well, I don't like the way it's positioned. So we'll drag it over a little bit, put it there. Now it looks almost realistic. So do I have to brush in a trunk or a branch now and leaves? Or can I do it this way? And then we'll go over to the other side. Command Shift D. Whoops. I don't want V, I want L. And let's go with green, smaller leaves with some brown. It helps if you can type. That's not a smaller leaf.
Yeah, that came in from Hawaii.
And we'll see how that works. I might have to throw in sparse in there, see if it takes it. That's a little gooder. Let's see what it's sparse.
If you know the type of plant, can you put the name of the plant in and have it?
Give me the name of a plant.
Bougainvillea.
Ivy.
Ivy. I can spell ivy. I can't spell bougainvillea. Thanks,
Yeah, that's
Lucy.
true. Sorry.
You're killing me. Making me look bad. Oh, that's not bougainvillea.
I,
That worked.
We'll take that one. So you started with, let me hide this guy again. Here's where we started. Here's where we finished. And I could probably add just a little bit here. And I'm just going to let it generate itself. I'm not going to tell it what to do. See what it does. All it did was take it out. So, okay. Now, I love this image. I think it would score 100 in print comp. So, Dennis, Dwight, what say
100.
thee? Okay, 78. Okay, 68. I cannot use this in print comp. If you use AI, you cannot use it. So, want to make sure everybody's clear on that. You cannot use these in print comp.
Can you use it in the art?
I think they're
Where
still
there's
working
composites and things.
the artist category, electronic artist.
No, the like composite category where you do composites.
I am not sure how that's going to shake out this year. I don't think that's been totally determined, has it, Dennis?
No, not to my
Nope.
knowledge.
So
Okay.
any print comp, national or local, something like that, that's not allowed.
Yeah, it's not.
As of now, and probably won't even go into ASP either with the new rules.
Okay.
ASP is open, by the way.
You have
Yeah,
to
I
have
can
the
definitely
right.
tell you it's not allowed in the ASP rules.
Okay. Suzanne?
I said because you have to have the rights to the image that you're
Yeah.
putting in your composite.
All
Or you
these are
don't have that.
all these are taken from Adobe stock if you're using Adobe. If you're using Midjourney, it goes all over the place and takes anybody's pictures. So you got to, again, you got to worry about that.
Interesting. Now, could you create a library of your own photographs in Generate?
I am not sure how that works yet for using your own images. I'm still learning this myself. So, looking at this, obviously the background where they chose is not where I would have liked to have chosen for this photograph. However, remove tool, circle, remove tool, circle, circle. When the remove tool first came out, you had to cover it completely by brushing it. Now you can just circle it and it will enclose the circle most of the time. And then you go, ooh, ah, ooh, ah. I said, now you go, ooh, ah.
Ooh,
Abracadabra, there we go. And when I come over here, remove tool. And if I cover some of the wood on the flag right there on the flagpole, it's okay because it should recognize it and say it needs to stay. And I'll do the same thing there. I had to do that by cloning and healing brush a while back. This is several years ago, 2014 when I did it. So that's 10 years ago. It took me a while to get it out. The rest of it we can probably get away with cropping. So we'll hit C for crop, go to my saved crop tools, 10 by 8. Nothing I can do with that carpeting because that's what it is. And obviously we'll fix the lighting and everything in Camera Raw. But that saved me a whole lot of time using remove tool, Generative AI didn't need to be used in this one. It would have been slower anyway. I do have a little spot over on the left over here. Remove tool, boom. Once you've played with it a little bit and you start understanding what the remove tool can do, oh, it's so amazing. There we go. So any questions?
Is the remove tool something new?
It is new. It's in version 2024. And where the healing brush is under J, it should be in there. If it's not in there, then you go down to the 3 dots on your toolbar down here. I got a banana there, but normally there's 3 dots. You double click on it, edit toolbar, and a lot of times it'd be on the right-hand side out of your toolbar down at the bottom, and you just drag it over to this side where you want it. So I would bring up my healing brush tool. I would take my remove tool and just drag it over to where it's in that. I am thinking about changing my keyboard shortcut for that from J to R for remove tool. So now when I want to use the healing brush or the remove tool, I just hit R and I'll undo rotate view because I rarely use that. So hit delete, hit done. And so if I hit J, it goes into the healing brush tools. If I hit R, it brings up my remove tool. So just that easy. I know where it's at. R for remove. Simple enough, right?
Yeah, so they added a third Band-Aid, basically.
Yep. This is a super Band-Aid. This is a Band-Aid on steroids.
Yeah, so probably using the AI, the advanced
Yeah, it's AI generated.
AI.
So, questions?
Hey, Michael, I just, as we were watching that, I just thought of something. How about when you go to the zoo and they have those nasty chain link fences between you and the animal? Have you tried taking something like that out?
I have. Let me go to desktop, Command W, don't save. Let's go to bridge, computer, Photoshop, 2024. I gotta remember where I put it. I think it's under Generative Fill, Remove Tool. So
Well,
you're
that's
talking
a nasty animal.
Yeah, we'll open this bad boy up. Z for zoom, just to do some quickie real quick. Oops, hit R because I changed the keyboard shortcut. Get out my Wacom tablet so I can do what I'm doing. So what I'll do is I'll start there. I'm going to hold the shift key, click on the next loop. Hold the shift key, click on the next loop. And the shift key, what it does is draws a straight line for you. So you don't have to keep drawing these silly lines. Hit enter. I'm just doing real quick on his face. And hopefully it makes me look good. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. Working around the eyes can be a little daunting, and it didn't work very well at all there.
What if you just do a single row, like it's a telephone pole?
That's what I'm doing right now. And it still didn't.
Oops.
Let's do remove after each stroke, see what happens. Stroke across there.
Weird.
For some reason, it is not working on this image. And I don't know why. It may be reading all the other fencing in there and saying, no, we don't want to play. So sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. I'm going to have to do it the old-fashioned way and go in with the stamp, clone stamp.
Or the spot healing.
Spot healing brush. Let's try that.
Yeah.
Make it a little bit bigger so I can see what I'm doing. Click here, shift click. And it did it a little bit. Probably have too big a brush, right? Well, it's not bad.
Yeah, that works.
So you even though you have all those fancy tools and everything, you still have to remember that some of the old tools might work better.
The right tool for the right job.
Exactly. And AI is not going to work every single time. And it's not a mind reader. You can't expect it to read, well, Facebook can read your mind with all the ads that they're doing, but AI here doesn't read your mind yet, but it will. Give it time.
Yeah, eventually there'll be a remove netting or fencing button.
You'll think what you want removed and it will just happen.
Exactly.
Yeah, be careful what you think.
But that's $10 more a month.
They're listening to us. You know that, don't you?
I know they are.
Yeah.
And I love Adobe. Adobe, you're wonderful.
It's interesting
Oh,
because
stop your brown nosing.
there's a app for your phone called Touch Retouch, and it has a mesh removal, and it removes mesh. So I've done when I've taken pictures at the zoo with my phone, it does it, and I've taken pictures on my camera and downloaded it to my phone and was able to take the mesh off.
Oh,
And
wow.
really well. It's
Is
called,
that with
it's
the
called
Android?
Touch Retouch. I don't know about Android. It works on an iPhone and I think Android as well. It
Okay.
looks like a green pencil that's curved around. So it's called Touch Retouch.
Touch Retouch.
Yeah.
Something
And
to look at, guys. You know, some of the phones out there are doing so much with Photoshop style stuff that you don't need us anymore. We'll just take our own picture. Okay, put in the better looking than me. I'm sorry, there is no better looking than you. This is as good as you get.
Well, I wonder when we're going to see our cameras catch up to that, because you'll take an iPhone and photograph somebody on a stage with an LED background. The iPhone will do amazing, and your camera won't, because it can't handle. You basically need HDR for that, or use a flash on the front.
Yeah.
And the iPhone does an amazing job with it.
Well, sometimes, you know, those LED screens, it has that flicker because of the cycle rates. So I've had to adjust my shutter speed to get that flicker out.
Yep.
Yeah, I've seen that.
Yeah.
Mike, I have one question, and this has nothing to do with what today, but I've been trying to get Bridge not to pop up. Remember how we set that up automatically so it would pop up?
So when you boot your computer, it pops
Yeah,
up
I don't
automatically?
want to boot up anymore because it's starting to aggravate me. So
Okay. Mac or PC?
Mac.
Okay. Let me look at Bridge real quick on preferences. Okay, go to preferences to advanced, and under advanced, third one down to start Bridge at login, just unclick that,
Okay,
and that should take care of you.
thank you.
You bet.
I think you can also do it from the dock.
Yeah.
You just press on the icon and then it says
options, and then you said open at login, you can.
Sometimes that
Well,
doesn't
actually,
undo it though.
maybe-
I've tried
uh,
that.
Yeah, okay, yeah, do it your way. It might not work.
Yeah, there's, well, here, let's go into here. We're in Bridge right now. Go to Bridge. And then you have options, keep in dock, open at login. You can see mine's not checked for open at login, but it does automatically log in for me. So it doesn't always work that way. And then also there's in your initial settings on your, I'm trying to remember where it's at, under system preferences somewhere, you can undo it as well.
Okay.
Should be under users and login
Thank you.
preferences or something like that.
Yep.
But on the
Cool.
Mac, you also, if you have it running when you do a shutdown, you can tell it to open same windows when you start the computer back up. And it sort of keeps track of what was open and just reopens it.
Yeah, sometimes you don't have to tell it that, it automatically does it, and no matter what you do, it's going to do what it wants anyway.
Yeah. It's kitty cat playtime at Kimberly's.
Yay!
I love it.
Hey guys, I saw something on another page and just might have something to affect all of us. But Wacom tablet is going to be taking away or not producing art pens and tablets anymore. And Michelle Parsley's page, she's promoting, and so that's something that she might. So go find her, read up about it. She's getting everybody in a frenzy and tell them to write to Wacom because we have not seen a alternative pen or tablet system that they're coming out with that's going to affect us as artists, because they want everybody to go to Cintiqs and on the screens and things. So that's something that, you know, we as a community need to be aware of, that there might be taking away a tool that we're also familiar with.
Yeah.
I think somebody posted a petition. Maybe she did on that
Michelle,
thread.
it was Michelle Parsley. Yeah.
Okay.
I just bought a brand new one.
Yeah, well, so the thing is, they take it away. How long are they going to service? How long are they going to give upgrades? You do an upgraded computer, you're going to be able to get upgrades. So it's just got a lot of residuals to them making a decision like that, which I'm scared of.
Yeah.
And what are they going to do? Just the Cintiq stuff?
I don't know. That's what because they did not, she posts information, I went and looked at it. I could not see an alternative situation where they're going to be produce something better or newer for us. And I know that they've been pushing Cintiq. So there again, costs more, whatever. But I just thought the community here needs, and tell your friends and let everybody know and research it out. And maybe we can, maybe at Nationals, attack their booth.
If they're there, yeah, for sure.
Chickens. I bet no. Anyway, if we find out, just keep all of us informed. What we just all need to keep informed what's going on out there with our tools that we use every day.
And if you like us producing this and you see this on YouTube, make sure you subscribe. Hit the subscribe button. Right now I have 175 subscribers. If I reach 1,000, then I get money from them.
Oh.
But I'm only at 175 and it's been 3 years, so I don't think I'm going to reach 1,000. But that's okay. I'm doing it for fun.
Maybe after Texas school.
Maybe after, yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Have all the Texas school sign up and subscribe.
Bring a bag of candy and hand out for anybody who subscribes.
I like your style, Kimberly. I like your style.
Yeah.
So Michael, we should have a race. I'm at like 130 or something for my YouTube, the podcast.
Wow. I'm ahead of you. I'm shocked.
Just,
yeah,
you said you have, you've got 175. So
yep.
I got my husband to subscribe just because. I should tell my boys also.
There you go.
You give them candy?
Well, wine for my husband, but same difference.
There you go. That works. That's candy.
I've only been doing mine for a year, so.
I've been at 3 years, so I'm way behind.
Yeah.
Anyway, I want to thank everybody for being here again. Great time. 2 weeks. We'll see you
Next
again.
one's on the 16th.
Let me double check my calendar to make sure I'm home. Not sure yet.
How to get more YouTube?
how to get more YouTube
more YouTube.
subscribers. Any suggestions for topics? Okay.
We'll
We'll
come
come
up
up
with
with
something for
something.
him.
So
Yeah, I
who's
appreciate
going to imaging?
I will be there.
Yay.
Looking
Cool.
forward to it.
It'll be
Wait.
fun.
Yep.
Who's going to WPPI?
Nope.
Eh.
Wow.
Crickets, Anthony, crickets.
Different crowd.